Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the numerology and the energies for both the collective and the individual life path numbers for June 2022. Before we get into the forecast, I just want to let you know that for those of you who have been asking me to bring back the numerology one question readings, those are now available once again on my website if that's something that interests you. It's an opportunity for if you have a burning question that you just want a quick, concise response to. It's a great, affordable option for that. So you can just book some time with me on my website. The information is in the description box below for that. I look forward to seeing you there. And of course, if you would like a more in-depth reading, those are also available, or a coaching session. Those are available as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the forecast. And of course, I will mention that this is a general reading. So again, if you would like a personalized reading, please book some time with me. All right, so June 2022 is a 12-3 universal cycle. And so typically the energy of the 3 brings with it this big explosive energy of creation, networking, social events, travel, recognition. However, with the strong influencing energy of the 12, we can feel that energy sort of muted slightly, and the focus shifts more towards reevaluation, changing, or sort of reversal of a creative endeavor or life experience. This can be a period of waiting, letting things take care of themselves now through surrender and acceptance without the need for force or control. So under this 12-3 energy, a change in perspective will serve us well, allowing the cycle to work for us rather than trying to overly dominate something. Observe, reflect, meditate, repeat. There is a lot of sort of serenity associated with this energy if we choose not to fight it. You may find that new information or clarity now brings reversals in what we thought we once fully knew. I'm actually facing this myself at the moment, so this is somewhat personal. You may need to make big compromises now on long-term goals or visions in order to fully appreciate and experience what is trying to come in for you right now. With this vibration, success is achieved through acceptance and understanding. The more flexible that we can be with long-term goals and expectations, the more fulfillment we will have within our current right now experience. So try not to fight these forces, but rather flow with them, and the results will be much more satisfying. Try to stay very present within the now and pay attention to sort of your mindset now. Are you self-sabotaging or supporting yourself on this journey? So staying within or coming back to the present moment and doing so often can assist us in seeing very clearly what is actually working and what isn't, what needs your attention right now and what doesn't, and what is a rational fear versus an irrational fear, and what needs to actually be overcome within this moment versus allowing something to unfold further in order to see how it actually plays out. So trips of any kind are very much supported under this energy, especially ones that are solely for enjoyment and exploration or rest and rejuvenation. This is a great time for vacations, both near and far. Ultimately, use this gift, this energy, as an opportunity to see things as they really are and not as they appear to be. Bring the conflicting polarities into some level of perspective now within your mind and create much more harmony within your environment by recognizing the reality of what you are actually currently working with and move from that space. This is a great cycle to pause and observe to gain greater clarity. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a closer, deeper look at each individual life path number for June. Life path number 3. So I pulled an animal spirit card for you all, and you all got Dove Spirit. And Dove's message, of course, is be the peace you want to see in the world. And so I really do feel for threes that there's going to be a lot potentially this month coming up around relationships, home environment, again, relations with other people. So I really do think that it's going to be important for you all to sort of draw from your inner dove energy to de-escalate any conflict, to choose how you interact with others at this time, to see how you want to participate, all of those things. And I do think that, you're going to have some decisions to make as to whether or not you want to be the peacekeeper and you want to bring the peace, or do you want to be the gasoline that ignites and explodes the fire, right? So, sometimes we do need to stand up for ourselves and we need to, interject our thoughts and all of those things. And so you just have to decide whether the environment is right to do that, or whether you want your own peace of mind, your own sort of inner sanctuary, and choose to, not ignore your own truth or sacrifice yourself or anything like that, but maybe not get involved in a situation that really doesn't need your involvement, right? Like your involvement might only be escalating things and contributing in a way that is, not diffusing the situation. And when we choose to do that, right, when we choose to sort of add fuel to the fire, that creates chaos and that sort of heavier energy within ourselves. And so when we choose to be kind over right type thing without sacrificing who we are and sacrificing our truth, or tolerating, bad behavior or whatever, because we can always excuse ourselves from an environment. We don't have to participate. That's by choice. But when we can find the inner strength to bypass the need to be right and simply contribute in a way that's bringing peace, then we create an environment within ourselves that is much more peaceful, right? We find our inner peace and we're able to maintain that without letting the outside world sort of trigger the fire within us type thing. You see what I'm saying? So it's about emotional maturity, and it's really about, again, wanting and finding finding the ways to create the peace from within. You don't have any control over, how your actions affect somebody else. So just because you're bringing the peace doesn't mean, you're creating that peace for other people. You're just not contributing to the fire, because they might want to create the fire and they might like the fire. And so, it's more about you and the environment that you want to be in, and the environment, how you want to feel, right? So I do think that Dove's message comes in strongly because there is a lot coming in for you all in June around home, community, definitely around relationships, potentially around love, how we love, who we love, how we show up to love, our expectations of love. All of those things can kind of be coming in for you all throughout June. Children can be coming in really strongly as well. So conversations about children, having children, being around children, anything around children and like pets are coming in really strongly for June for you all as well. So you may get a new pet. You may, it could be something around the lines of something occurring, the health of your pet, something like that coming into focus as well. Boundaries are going to be coming in potentially really strongly for you all this month. And this can be a sort of an emotional month for you all. Again, if you allow it to be. Now, our emotions are something where, we need to feel them, right? We need to move through them. We need to acknowledge them. We're not meant to suppress them. We are emotional beings. However, we are responsible for the action that we take based off that emotion. So that's where Dove Spirit comes in. There are things that can trigger us or create, like emotional hardships for us. But it's up to us how we choose to act from that space, like what we choose to do with that energy. And we are responsible for that. So if we take action from that emotion and it creates fire, we have to deal with that fire. If we take action from that emotion and we choose to create an environment of peace for ourselves, because we don't have we're not responsible for other people and we can't take responsibility for that, then we create a peaceful environment from that emotion, right? And so it really comes down to that. So this is going to be a month, I think, where you need to check your boundaries, make sure that you have healthy boundaries in place, that you are not sacrificing yourself or overly burdening yourself to appease someone else and their journey. I think it's important to adhere to those boundaries. It doesn't do us much good if we set the boundary, but then we don't do anything with the boundary, or we don't even hold the boundary, right? Then if we don't hold the boundary, we can't expect others to hold that boundary either. So I think a lot of these things could be coming into focus for you all this month. Really just checking in, making sure that you have those healthy boundaries, that you're putting them in place, and not everybody is going to like them, and that's okay. It's not your responsibility whether or not they adhere to those boundaries. It's your responsibility to put them in place and for you to hold those boundaries. And if somebody can't respect those boundaries, they really don't need to be in your environment at this moment, right? And so that's a bigger conversation to be had. Relationships. I do think relationships could be coming in really heavily this month for you all to take a closer look at, again, how you're showing up to those relationships, how others are showing up to you. Is it a healthy exchange of energy? Are you tolerating behavior that doesn't need to be tolerated? Are you showing up in a way that maybe is not conducive to peace or to a loving environment? All these things may be coming in for evaluation this month, so just be aware of that. And again, relationships sort of covers the whole spectrum of relationships, friendships, colleagues, work relationships, all those things, including romantic relationships, partnerships, spouse, whatever. So all of those could be kind of coming in, or not all of them, but relationships in general could be coming into play this month and could really be just be asking for you to take a closer look at that to see, do adjustments need to be made? And if so, what adjustments? And how can you contribute in a way that feels good for you, right? Community could be coming in really strongly this month as well. So there may be situations where you are out in the community more, maybe you're networking a bit more. It's a very nurturing energy. So again, it can be like maybe you're volunteering, or maybe someone's coming to you to get your advice or to consult or something like that. And you're having an impact on the community in a bigger way. That's very, very possible. But home is really at the forefront this month for you all. So again, changes in the home, maybe you're doing some remodeling, some painting, some changes to the home. Maybe someone's moving into the home, out of the home. Maybe you're changing residency, location, anything like that could come up. Again, having children going off to college or whatever, anything like that could be occurring. Also things around pets, again. So this could be a month where you, again, I think I mentioned it in the intro, but maybe you get some new pets or a new pet or something like that. And so just be aware of that. So a lot of beautiful energy potentially coming in this month around the home, but also could bring some things to the surface that need to be addressed and looked at and modified when it comes to your home life, your community, that sort of thing. And really coming back to the energy of Dove, which again is saying, create a peaceful environment, like bring the peace that you want to see. So your home is your castle. If there's not peace within your home, that's like your sanctuary. So how can you create a more peaceful environment for yourself in your home? And that may mean taking a closer look at, again, boundaries, relationships that you're currently in, anything like that. And maybe bringing peace to your home means bringing in a pet. So again, there's things that are coming in around pets and children very, very strongly, and just doing things that you really, really enjoy. This could be a beautiful time to plant flowers in your garden, plant a garden. Anything, again, to do with the home or the home environment is going to be really, really highlighted and really supported during this month for threes. So hopefully this was helpful. Just again to bring it into your awareness and bring your attention to it, so that if those things do come up, you can work with that energy. Because again, it's always what we do with the energy that makes the difference. All right, take care, everyone. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.